Today I'm going to combine art history and combine drawings and pictures from the 4-piece SpongeBob painting that I included that will also combine with the art history that I'm showing you now. The reason why I'm showing you this is because Nebuchadnezzar, who existed during 600 BC, had other counterparts that also existed who completely tried to dominate the whole area that they were in. Now, Media, which was right there, is, as you all know, part of the Apocryphal Bible. So, let's go ahead and start at 600 BC. In Athens, Archidamus and also Herodotus were also part of this era. This is Greek mythology, but I have the Adams timeline that is not part of any mythology. This Babylonian historian existed between 300 and 260 BC. The building that you see here is part of the Persian Empire, and at this bottom was the Temple of Jupiter. Second temple that was built, Draco's Bloody Laws, and Draco's was from 600 BC. Also included Nebuchadnezzar, who had a head made of solid gold, also a full statue made of solid gold, which you can see there. They also form movable mobiles, so that was back in 600 BC. Media, which is part of the giants and mythical creatures, also were existing during this period of 600 BC. Mostly in Athens. That's who they were trying to defeat. There's a father of mystery, number 444, and Alexander the III. They had their own coins and they had their own money, but there was a lot of gold. Plenty of gold. Xerxes had an army, and in this army, these are the buildings that he put them in when he took over this area. A lot of areas that Xerxes fought in, he actually conquered because he had the power of magic. That was Homer. I'm gonna show you Neptune, mermaids, mermen, centaurs, and some more mythical creatures that they quote unquote say don't exist. So this is a chronological timeline. And Imhotep in Egypt, all of these things existed during this time. So what happened with Adam and Eve when they were actually existing in 400 or 4004 BC. Then when Jesus actually was born, the Christ was born, time started again. So that was also 4004. The nice son of the chronological timeline. There was also created the Persian Empire, and then we're gonna go into more on It says one of the chosen Greeks. And so there were 10 of them. And this timeline is from in the 600s, and I am going from 4004 BC to 600 BC and beyond. There it is. The wise men of Sparta. We all know that one of them is this man right here. And him. And him. And then we're going to get into Alexander the Third. So, when Alexander the Third ruled, he also had to fight against these different giants and these mythical creatures. So it was very hard for him to conquer them because they used magic. He didn't have that magic, but he did possess things that they didn't, which existed in Egypt. They were able to use the gold that they had to do different things with it, as far as cause like illusions and stuff that normally you wouldn't be able to see. So these things back then were considered odds to the people who were out there. So Neptune would appear and he flew, and then you have the mermaids that swam the sea, that the sirens were created, and that's all part of a Greek mythology tale. But it also existed during these times of chronological mapping. So you can either believe that it's a myth, or you can believe that this myth helped everything to make sense. So back to our Adam's timeline. There are different famous architects that are in this book, Greek warriors. There are different mythical creatures, and it will also take you through the timeline that will show you the different pictures and the different areas where all of this stuff existed at, and also follows at the top of the timeline the different parts of the Bible that are mentioned. So these are the wars that were fought, the temples that were created, and it gives you the Bible verses at the top of this that you can identify where these actual events took place. So if you look in Nebuchadnezzar and that everything that's done, you also can look in Hosea and Solomon for like Solomon's gold mines. I mean, it all makes sense. So that is our lesson for today. And I encourage you guys to keep learning and keep challenging questions that come up that you don't understand, but you see the words and you have to look those up. So look up your Greek mythology. Some of the ones that I've done as far as the theater was on Orpheus, which is also Morpheus. That is a part of Greek mythology, and Academus is part of Greek mythology. Look him up as well. These are great people who had great stories. And for me, I knew that there was Alexander, but I didn't know that there were also Alexander the Second and also the Third. So that's something new that I learned as well. And now I'm going to get into my pictures for Tuesday's art class on this segment of our artwork. This is going to